Good morning, and thank you for being here. We're here to address the additional charges that our office filed today against Joshua Anthony Jones. Before talking about these charges, I want to express my condolences to the loved ones of Roland Little and Robert Brown, and to the other victims of Mr. Jones' actions. On September 18th, there were multiple reports of shootings around encampments in South Minneapolis. Thanks to collaboration between lead attorneys and MPD investigators, we can now dispel some confusion about what happened that day and identify Joshua Jones as solely responsible for all of this targeted gun violence. Mr. Jones shot 5 people in 3 different locations that day, with violence continuing from before 5 a.m. to after 7 p.m. In the first shooting that morning, he shot at 3 people. He killed Roland Little, he injured another person, and he shot at, but thankfully missed, a third person. That afternoon, Jones shot and killed Robert Brown. And that evening, in his third shooting of the day, Jones shot and injured a 5th person. I want to note that we are only using the names of the people who were killed and not sharing the names of those who survived to protect their privacy and safety. Excuse me. On September 20th, our office charged Mr. Jones with 1 count of second-degree murder and 1 count of attempted second-degree murder for the afternoon and evening shootings, so the second and third in time. Today's charges come after further investigation. Our office has filed 1 additional count of second-degree murder for the killing of Mr. Little and 2 additional counts of second-degree attempted murder. These charges stem from the gun violence that happened early morning of September 18th, so that the charges we filed today are actually the case that is first in time that day. In total, Mr. Jones now faces 2 counts of second-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder, and 3 counts of illegal firearms possession from the shootings, all on September 18th. I want to just go through slowly the chronology that investigators and our prosecutors have established. We now know that just before 5 a.m. on September 18th, Mr. Jones shot the first of 2 victims in an alley on the 2500 block of 17th Avenue South in Minneapolis. Mr. Jones shot and killed Roland Little. Mr. Jones shot another victim who survived and shot at a third victim who he missed. At 4:21 p.m., officers responded to a second shooting scene on the 2500 block of Bloomington Avenue in Minneapolis. There, Mr. Jones shot and killed Robert Brown. At 7:19 p.m., officers responded to a third location near the intersection of 24th Street and 18th Avenue South in Minneapolis. Mr. Jones approached a 5th victim, shot at him, and missed. The victim fled, and Jones chased him and kept shooting him, hitting him in the shoulder. Officers located Mr. Jones in the area of the third crime scene and arrested him. Today, our office filed 1 additional count of second-degree murder for the killing of Mr. Little and 2 additional counts of second-degree attempted murder. In total, Mr. Jones now faces 2 counts of second-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder, and 3 counts of illegal firearms possession for the 3 shootings that happened on September 18th. Additionally, Mr. Jones faces 1 count of second-degree assault for a shooting that happened on March 18th of this year near a light rail station in South Minneapolis. Our office filed this case on July 3rd after DNA evidence came back tying him to the gun that was used, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. This warrant was still active when Mr. Jones was arrested on September 18th. We believe that Mr. Jones represents a threat to our community's safety, and we will continue to argue for him to stay in custody. I know that right now, people who are unhoused and living in encampments must feel under attack. Already they are exposed to threats of violence, and these shootings can only decrease their sense of security. I want to make clear once again that the investigation has shown that while these attacks occurred at or near encampments, it does not appear that Mr. Jones was targeting the unhoused community. Everyone in our community deserves to feel and be safe. Questions? Luke?
Because the big question is the motive. Why did he do this?
The cases are still under investigation, so we are not aware of a motive at this time.
Was Mr. Jones a resident at the encampment, do we know?
We don't believe that he was.
Did he know any of these victims?
Since the case is under investigation, I'm sure that information will come out later.
Are you able to speak to why it's not seen that it's tied to specifically shooting unhoused people?
I didn't hear the first part of that. Could
Can
you?
you explain what led you to believe that it's not a case of him targeting unhoused people?
He was targeting those people that he shot, many of whom were not housed in the encampment. And he did actually appear to have known the people that he targeted.
Can you address the large space in time from the first shooting to the second and third? Why so much time passed and what was happening in those hours? And I know you're not police, but address it best you can.
I am not, and I know that Josh Larson, who's behind me right here, is the prosecutor in charge of these cases. He continues to work with MPD to develop all of those details.
Can you clarify, were some of the victims residents of the encampment and some weren't, or how many were? Do we know this?
I don't believe that most of them were.
A lot of the neighbors in the days after the shooting had expressed concerns about safety in and around the encampment, especially considering the US Supreme Court decision recently giving local authorities the authority to arrest and cite. If Minneapolis Police or the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office did choose to break up these encampments and arrest people in these unsafe encampments, would you support citing or charging individuals in those encampments?
Well, first of all, being unhoused is not a crime. It is not a crime, the act of being unhoused. I certainly support Hennepin County's approach, which is housing first. I think they have a very effective and proven method and humanitarian approach to working with people who are unhoused.
Now that these 3 incidents are charged and there was one prior one that's charged, is he still a suspect in any outstanding cases?
I'm sure that investigators are looking at that right now. And I don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure, as in any investigation, they are looking at the weapon, looking at ballistics to see whether he is responsible for any other violence in our community. Thank you.